Okay, so I've been away for a while, quite a long while actually. I was meant to make this video very soon after I came back from Scotland, but I'm afraid life just got in the way of things and I've only just got around to making it now. So it's a little bit like a look back at when the world was a bit more of a saner place. I mean, we didn't have Donald Trump as president, we didn't have Brexit, England was still in the Euros, all was good back then. So if you guys don't know what's going on, I went to the island of Skye in Scotland to do my dissertation mapping project for my course, and my friends have basically been egging at me for the last probably about 2 months trying to get me to do a video about some of the pictures we took in Skye and like basically what was going on. So without further ado, let's get into some of the pictures from Skye. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so starting from the beginning, we have a picture of us all on the bus on the way to Bristol Airport to fly to Inverness, and immediately you can see that the focus that Tom uses to take this picture is absolutely spot on. It isn't fuzzy whatsoever, and also Jake is just looking like he is going to take no shit from anybody. He looks like he's about to fuck shit up. No, he just looks like a freaking pleb, to be honest, but Harry is probably the one that actually looks the least human in this, just because he's trying to look like a smug git, but in fact he just looks like a killer. Anyway, actually the most normal person in this is actually probably Callum. He's the guy in the glasses. He just looks like he's having a decent time. I'm just looking like, please let me in the picture. When we're actually there, we're at Skye, and this is probably within the first week or two. The weather was actually spectacular in Scotland, despite popular belief that it's always raining there. Don't worry, those people who like the stereotypes, because this weather was probably only for about the first week of the 5 weeks we were there. The rest of the time it was miserable and rain. Moving on, we come to when we're actually there in Skye. Here's a picture of me. We were on top of the mountain of Glenmaid. We decided to go walk up it just because we wanted to. It wasn't to do with any of our work or anything. We basically just looked up the side of it whilst we're doing work and thought, how hard can it be to climb up this mountain? Very hard is the answer. We thought that it wasn't actually that steep, but we actually decided to climb up the steepest bloody side of it, and typically Gibbo was just like, oh, it's doable, and it was just, no. But we did manage to get to the top in the end, not without having a few bits of drama, because Jake was being a pussy and was clinging on for dear life and asking for us to call mountain rescue. But we did get to the top, and yeah, it was worth it. So yeah, this was us lot at the summit. This was my group. Got Gibbo on the left looking like he doesn't really want to be there, with a little smelly fake smile. Tom's just there giving us the grin, but he was actually shitting himself halfway up this mountain. He kept it under wraps, to be fair. And then I'm on the right top there, just looking like an absolute mug with the hair just flopping all over the place because the wind was absolutely diabolical. And then Jake's trying to keep it cool, but in fact he was actually worrying about how the hell we were going to get down, because he did not want to go back down the side that we did go up in the first place, simply because it was so freaking steep. But we did get down the mountain, but it did take us like days to get back around, because we actually ended up like 5 miles away from where we actually were staying, so we had to walk along the road and everything. It was actually terrible, but it was well worth it. And the weather, you can probably see it's all foggy in that. Yeah, it's probably about more accurate what the weather was like for most of the Skye trip. Moving on to actually what we were actually doing in Skye was we were supposed to be mapping the rocks and stuff out there for our geology project, and a lot of the days we would have to take pictures of what we're looking at, but sometimes those things we would just get bored and take pictures of random shit, or just start being posy and trying to get in really cool profile pictures and cover photos for Facebook, as you do. One of these is being one of these ones, just Tom standing right next to a pretty spectacular waterfall, to be fair. So yeah, me looking at it, it's pretty decent, isn't it? But you know, you can barely tell who the hell it is down there. I can confirm it is Carter Bond. Anyway, yeah, also another one where Carter's trying to look cool for a cover photo. Trying to see, like, I mean, to be fair, the scenery is pretty spectacular. I mean, you can't really tell who it is in the background, just because you can't really see. But this is the sort of thing we had to do on a day-to-day basis. I love this sort of thing. It looks absolutely spectacular. Of course, there was another group with us out here in Skye, and there was a group with Harry, Callum and Georgia in it who were doing a different area of the mapping area. This picture represents boredom, the actual weather in Skye, and just what Cornish people are like, I guess. You also have this one, and we were supposed to be doing work. To be fair, Harry could have probably been doing work there. He might have actually been trying to get a sample with his hammer, but then Callum had to come and ruin it. This is one I like to call Vintage Harry, one where it's a picture of someone taking a picture of me, trying to look cool. I mean, how can you look cool when you're wearing a bandage up to your knee, and then wearing shorts, which are a bit designed for the builders, with a straw hat on, and then sunglasses. Okay, so the next section is what I call the auditions for ISIS, because we had to wear these things called midge nets to stop all the little flies and stuff, and this is one I call seizure, and or you can put it under the category of porn. I don't know. It's just, this was the levels of boredom that we got to in Skye. We can't just. We were supposed to probably be looking the other way, looking at the rocks, doing work, basically. This is for a degree, for God's sake. And then we've got Jake looking like he's about to take it like a champ. Anyway, in fairness, we did take a few decent pictures in Skye. Namely a few that were of just the vast scenery, although this one is of me taking a picture of Jake whilst Gibbo's just like looking disinterested on his phone, when we're probably supposed to be looking at what the hell is in this river. But you know, we had a lot of time on our hands. We were there for 5 weeks, and it was just like, fuck it, we're just gonna get a load of cover photos and profile pictures out of this. I don't know what the hell Jake's trying to do. I mean, this one was also taken on top of another ridge. A couple of good photos, the whole eastern side of the island, which I thought was pretty good. You can see pretty much across to Scotland, and Carter seems to be enjoying himself, taking a picture and stuff, but you can tell it's a little bit posy, like he's trying to pose for a cover photo and be like, oh look at me, I'm a traveller, I travel the world. We got the close-up of Callum. I'm struggling to see if he's actually taking that picture so that he can be like, oh look at the scenery behind me, but also my face is there, it looks cool. Or rather, is he taking that picture just to say, am I getting a monobrow or not? I mean, it looks like he's got a few hairs there. You might want to have that looked at, Callum. Anyway, Callum's audition for ISIS also, he might pass as a decent Freddie Mercury impersonation. But then there's another photo that actually does that a little bit better. Yep, there we go. He's got a nice little Freddie Mercury moustache going on there. He actually does look a little bit like him. And then there's Harry's audition for ISIS as well. He's clearly just going straight in for it whilst they're having a nice little picnic lunch. And then probably my least favourite thing of the trip, because this just represents how far their boredom went. This is probably in the first couple of days when they literally went out and did probably about an hour or 2 hours worth of work. Did that for about 2 hours, like did stupid pictures like that, and then just went home. I could show you a lot more, but unfortunately I don't want to infect the internet too much. So when we decided to go up Glenelg, we decided that it would be best just to go up straight up from where we were, because we were mapping the bottom part of it, and we looked up and thought, hey, we're already like a third of the way up, we might as well go the rest of the way up. And so the person in the photo gave it was like, oh, it's doable, how hard can it be, basically. This is what we had to go up, and I don't know if you can tell in the photo, but it is quite steep, as in it was probably about 45-degree incline most of the way up, with this sort of rock surface, so you could barely hang on to anything. And there was scree slopes as well, which is basically gravel, which you could slip out from you from any minute, and if you fell down, there would be nothing to stop you for about 300 meters. Like, you would be destroyed. I can sort of understand why Jake was shitting himself, but at the same time, he was being a bit of a pussy. Although I am forgetting someone, Georgia was also on the thing, but unfortunately on Facebook and in the pictures I looked at, there wasn't many pictures of her, but I think this picture is the only one you really need to see, which pretty much summed up the entire trip for her. Wind in face, hair in face, basically. See, the trip was coming to an end, but we'd like to hang around down the pub, and this picture is just basically us all together, having a good time, having a couple, which was probably what we did most nights. We did actually drink quite a bit of alcohol, Harry especially, but that's just Harry, and Jake especially, scabbing drinks with other people because Jake is a cheapskate. But anyway, yeah, it was quite an enjoyable trip. And then at the end of the trip, we went to Inverness for a day before we had our flight home. Had a great day out and thing. I mean, all of us, like us two, adopting the wide stance and overlooking the little bridge in Inverness. It's a nice place to go. Decent night out it was, just to top off the end of the trip, really. And yeah. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's me going through the pictures of Skye. I hope you did enjoy the video. You did ask for it, and if you do take offense from anything I've said in the video, I'll be like, well, you have been trying to tell me to do this for a while, and I did say I was probably going to take the piss. So yeah, sorry. For anybody who isn't in my friends group and likes the video, please give it a like and subscribe for more if you would like to see more vlogs and video reactions and stuff like that. And well, my next video could be soon, could be next week, could be next month, could be next year, we don't know. But until next time, I'll see you later. Cheers.